I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird.
Borderlands 4 bans anyone questioning gender language. So apparently, even if you question it, banned. This kind of reminds me of what the Helldivers 2 moderation team on Discord was doing, and it did not go well.
The Borderlands 4 Steam forums are apparently banning players for daring to question gender ideology and use of gendered language. And my goodness, we must be living in 1984 and not 2025. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Friend of the channel, Dr. Disaster.
Wait, 1984? No, but like in 1984, they would question you for putting gender ideology into text, right? I'm so confused. Anyway, moving on.
Has reached out to me with some curious information from a fan that let him know about being banned from the Steam forums for daring to ask a couple questions about if Borderlands 4 planned on using gender ideology and pronouns and gender ambiguity and all those things that modern gaming seems to not be able to.
Okay, I'm stupid. He's referring the book. I'm sorry. He's referring the book. I was thinking about the historical year, not the book. My bad.
To avoid, and of course, Randy Pitchford's company is changing their logo to represent Pride Month and potentially pushing this game to $80 or more. And now we have Steam forums banning players for daring to ask questions about a game that, in this case...
Wait, what was said there? So how is it in German version with the gender speech? Is it in or not? If yes, it is deactivatable. What's your problem with the question, Gearbox? Why can't you answer hypothetical? Oh, I see. I don't see a problem with this question.
Yeah, but the second one really, it's like they're asking for a reaction. Like you say, like, "Hey, is this gonna be in there?" and you just leave it like that. And then it's like, "What's your problem with the question, Gearbox? Why can't you answer a hypothetical customer a question?"
No.
Players for daring to ask questions about a game that, in this case, they love. Well, at least at one point. Hit that.
Loving Borderlands at one point is the best summary of Borderlands.
Yep.
The fact that even Borderlands 2 is now unplayable just for safety reasons.
Yep.
It's just so disgusting.
Subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down all the information and screenshots that were passed along to me from this player that was apparently banned from the Steam forums for Borderlands 4 for daring to ask questions about a game that they planned on buying, which I guess you could imagine they don't plan on buying anymore. Friend of the channel, Dr. Disaster, tipped me off to something that every Borderlands fan should be raising an eyebrow. And that is if there are any left at this point, because sheesh, and I'll get to that later. But according to a German gamer who shared his experience across several messages, Gearbox appears to be going full woke with how they're approaching Borderlands 4 launch. And now they're apparently banning anyone who dares ask questions about it. This player, who is clearly a big fan of the...
Wait, so since they added the access to your PC and your files in Borderlands 2, wouldn't that mean they'll be doing the same thing in the new one too?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Wait, they put the backdoor access to your PC in the game code? Yes.
Yeah.
Series and invested enough to engage in the Steam forums, asked an extremely fair and straightforward innocent question. Would Borderlands 4 be using gendered language in the German translation the same way as Tiny Tina's Wonderland did? Specifically stating, in Tiny Tina...
I did not notice it as much in Tiny Tina, to be honest.
In German.
Okay. Alright, in German, yeah. Because there are language structures where it just wouldn't make sense. As we already found out in Spanish when they tried to do that in Spider-Man.
Oh.
So yeah, this is so dumb.
as Wonderland, the whole language was gendered. That was horrible. So, to my question, will it be here too? And if yes, do we get the option for just having normal language without gender speech? Which, honestly, taking a step back, is a very fair and based question to be asking a developer these days is, hey, I want to know what I'm buying. Can you guys just let me know what to expect out of this so I can make a decision beforehand and I can understand what it's going to include with it? And yeah, Gearbox was not a big fan of these questions, and I'll get to more of them in a second. But before I do, I got to give additional context for how the German language works because I feel like this is very important here. In German, words like baker have masculine, feminine, and generic forms. But some of these ridiculous recent woke language pushes stemming from Marxism and communistic rootings have tried to force changes like,
Oh, that's what's happening. They're trying to force like literal language changes in Germany.
Yes.
What the actual what? Okay.
Baker Innen to represent all genders, similar to how English language activists want to replace mankind with humankind or peoplekind. And yeah, those aren't catching any traction for good reason. And now they're trying to get to other languages and do the same type of stuff. And you gotta ask the question, where is all this coming from? You've had one warning and are banned for 24 hours for continuing to break community rules, and then shared a follow-up saying that they are now banned forever, with the ban reason saying, please do not spam the Steam discussion forums with questions that would lead to comments and discussion that does not follow Steam community guidelines. So now they are blaming him for asking a very valid question in 2025 because this is a thing. As much as these publishers and developers want to ignore the elephant in the room that everyone is talking about when it comes to things that are important when making a buying decision, it's not the person asking the question's fault for the fallout that follows because of your initial decisions. But that would require some accountability, which a lot of these wokies, let's be honest, all of these wokies still have no idea how to take any accountability for anything, so is anyone really surprised? Despite trying to go through the official support channels, including 2K support, this particular gamer was told in polite corporate speak that no one could help him. Steam forum discussions apparently are untouchable.
But like, how hard is it to just answer that question?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a simple yes or no question.
Like, it's easier to answer than like do all of this drama, all of this stage performance, and get even more attention onto it. They already know that Borderlands 4 is being laughed at online, and they're like, hey, look what I can do, and doubles it down.
And the posts were flagged as spam, even though they were repeated only because Gearbox refused to answer. So let's call this what it really is, a silencing tactic. Just look at how robotic and careless the repetitive reply he received from Gearbox themselves was. From Borderlands support, in response to, my thread was again marked as spam and I think I will be banned again. Thanks for contacting 2K support. This is Taylor and I'm a supervisor here. So right off the bat, we got
That is so aggressive. My name is Taylor, and I am the supervisor here. What is going on?
a supervisor. Clearly, this is going to be someone qualified to take this question seriously and fix the problem. I mean, it's a supervisor, right? I understand that one of your recent Steam forum posts was marked as spam, and you're hoping customer support can step in. However, as mentioned in our previous conversation, our Steam team does not have any oversight or authority to influence or reverse decisions made on the Steam forums. Okay, well, what about how the decision got made on the Steam forum in the first place? Alas, as I mentioned in our
I don't know why this kind of reminds me of the whole like how Twitch is handling their unbanning situation with Tectone.
Yeah.
It's like one person makes a decision of scratching the butt, the other person makes the decision of scratching the balls. I'm just gonna say this. If he was spamming, like legitimately spamming, like posting the same post over and over again, yes, time him out. Repercussions should be had. Spamming is exhausting, right? If it's a matter of, okay, he posted once, they removed it, ban him, then unban him, and then he posted it twice and they ban him right away, I don't really consider that spamming. It's more of a just give me an answer.
Yeah.
But if it's like 4, 5, 6 times, yeah, I would be like, okay, that's exhausting. But at the same time, just answer the person.
Answer him, or you know, like, if he's actually spamming it, then it's like really against most forms.
Yeah, but just answer. It would be a
I
different thing if they would have answered and he keeps spamming. It's a legitimate thing wanting to have an answer to a product that costs $80.
Our last conversation, our customer support team does not have any oversight or abilities to influence or change decisions made on or regarding Steam forums, which I didn't just reread the same part. No, that is the same thing. You just copied and pasted twice in this email reply. Nice supervisor so far. If you have any technical issues or account related concerns, I'd be more than happy to assist with those. Alas, I'm unable to make any changes to your Steam forum account or its content. Thank you for your understanding. Best regards, 2K Taylor. So clearly a very automated bot reply where they just cut and paste.
Okay, but like with customer support, they do have also canned responses. And I'm not saying that's the situation in 2K, but in a lot of companies, when they hire customer support, if you don't use canned responses for specific questions, you get canned. So it doesn't necessarily mean this person Taylor is the bad guy. It just, I've been in that environment before. I also been the person who would write those canned responses for customer service so
Yep.
they can automate the program. So it is a possibility that that's the situation here. That if they don't use these canned responses for specific questions that they were told, they will lose their job.
Yeah.
But no matter how you look at it, if it's not a canned response, if it is a canned response, irregardless, 2K looks extremely bad here.
Pasted responses over and over into it to fill up the space and didn't give two craps about this person's actual concern. This is how the woke machine works. It doesn't debate, it censors. And if this level of sensitivity over a basic, reasonable question is any indication of the direction that Borderlands 4 is going, then fans are in for another ideological lecture disguised as a looter shooter. If asking whether forced gender speech will be used in localization of the game is a bannable offense, it's no longer about inclusion. No, it's all about control. In fact, you could argue that this is exactly why these companies keep doing these things.
I have to disagree that it's about control. Like, yes, it's about control, but it's also, to the general public, it's about stupidity, how fast they can tank. It's like Ubisoft has taught people how to make mistakes with your company and how to lose value in your company. And I'm sorry, but that's literally what I'm seeing 2K is doing right now. Same thing Ubisoft was doing and just tanking their value.
I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. Borderlands 4 is cooked. Gearbox as a company is cooked. 2K Games is screwed, and Take-Two only has Grand Theft Auto 6 right now to currently save them. This game is going to be an absolutely abhorrent disaster of epic proportions, and I don't think what just happened here is even scratching the surface as to the insane amount of transgressions that Borderlands 4 and CEO Randy Pitchford have been doing since this game has come to prominence after being announced. This is on top of Gearbox recently coming under fire from once again changing their logo to pride colors and also putting out what amounted to basically malware and spyware for your computer after updating the EULA in terms of service for Borderlands 2 and making that free.
And that is the biggest issue with Borderlands and 2K in general right now. That they're adding that to their games.
Making people who don't do any research or don't know any better thinking that they're getting a free AAA game because, yay, Borderlands 4, let's talk about the other games and get them for free and celebrate it. When in reality, this was an insidious attempt to gain access to people's computers to scrape through their data and details and try to monetize them better and potentially even sell their information. And I even talked about this in a live stream the other day, and a lot of people were saying that this is actually pretty commonplace, unfortunately, in PC gaming, where many EULAs and terms of service are asking for root level access to computers or something along those lines, wanting more and more information and ability to scrape and get more details, and players typically are fairly accepting of it unless there's some sort of pushback. And I look at this situation as, hey, if I ever...
Is that still the current score of Borderlands 2? Let's see. Let me pull it up. Oh, it's on a massive sale right now too. It's like 75% off. And it's overwhelmingly negative now. Holy hell.
That's the EULA update.
Yeah. Take-Two and 2K games have updated older game term. Oh, okay. So it's literally all of them.
Ever hear a company is going to be needing root level access to scrape, getting multiplayer access, videos, everything that I do in the game, and sending it to their warehouse to scrape and figure out what to do with me and how to use these things to their own liking? I don't know about you guys, but I'm not the biggest fan of that, and I don't want to participate in that. And I'm not really alone on that either. Yeah, that didn't go over well with most PC gamers. And this is on top of Randy Pitchford going on talking about how if you are a true fan of Borderlands, you'll find a way to get your funds together and pay for this game. And he doesn't know how much it's going to cost when someone asks him if it's going to be $80, when all indications are pointing directly at that $80 number. And his apology was just as bad as his initial explanation. Yeah, I'd say at this point, Gearbox and 2K Games and parent company Take-Two Interactive are up a creek without a paddle right now with how they've treated the community.
I'm just more wondering, why did they think that they can do that and no one is gonna raise a single eyebrow? Like, I don't really care that much about the forum part. I mostly care about the EULA part. Why would they do that? What possessed them to think it's a good idea?
And I don't see a very bright future for Borderlands 4 if they continue going down this road. But I guess time will tell. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. I will link this in the description below. Again, huge shout out to Dr. Disaster for the heads up on the story, because holy crap, this
is like, this is so frustrating. Yeah, fine, whatever. If they would have done that with Borderlands 4, who cares? We'll just skip, not buy it. But the fact that they went to like other games that like people love, it's so frustrating. I'm so tired of having like games that I love and wanting to revisit like memory, either with like a childhood one or just whatever, just wanting to replay a game that I really enjoyed and finding out that game was fucked. I'm so exhausted of this. All the jokes we were cracking, how, okay, well, I don't have to buy the new games. I can go back and play old one. I'm good. I have a backlog. So now it feels like they're even taking that away.
Yeah, which is not a good feeling.
Spread my wings high, reach the sky. Feathers in the wind, never asking why. I'm a bird, motherfucker, I'm a bird. Soaring high, yeah, that's the word. Flying free like you never heard. I'm a bird, motherfucker, I'm a bird. Clouds beneath my toes, wind blows where it goes.